catching double Iron Bash onto Turtonator, and this is going to do absolutely nothing. Turtonator looking for the full Incinerate farm down Melmetal, makes one more move, but Turtonator doesn't care. They throw the super power, Turtonator shrugs it off, commits to the Incinerate farm down. The opponent sends back out Escavalier. We throw one Incinerator and the Flamethrower. The opponent invests that shield, and my god, look at the damage. Turtonator now in the red, however, going to be able to shield once, Incinerate farm all the way down. Welcome back to the channel. This weekend is Global Go Fest. There are some really good rewards and some quality Pokemon spawning. If you've bought a ticket, I wish you first the best of shiny luck, and secondly, go grind them PvP mon. I'm personally going to be hunting stuff like Beldum and Joltik so I can make my level 50 Galvantula and level 50 Metagross. However, today we are looking at some Fantasy Cup battles. Yes, I know Fantasy Cup has been and gone. However, I'll be honest, absolutely nobody's watching my videos right now as people are bored of the season. If you're one of the few people that are watching, I'd appreciate you smashing that like, and that'll keep me motivated to keep pushing content out before the new season's update. You might be asking yourself, why am I posting a Fantasy Cup video when it's been and gone? Well, there's two things that I love on this channel: Shadow Pokemon and Spice. Today, Betsy has sent us some battles with her level 50 Turtonator. I personally don't even have a Turtonator registered to my Pokédex, and she has managed to get it all the way to level 50. And she has nicknamed this Pokemon the Cheat Code. She was able to go from 2600 ELO all the way to Legend in 4 sets. So that is worth a shoutcast. Without any further ado, let's get into the commentary. And in game 1, we saw the Slurpuff mirror. Who designed this Pokemon? It looks like a muffin or some sort of cupcake, something you'd probably see in a posh bakery. The opponent caught the play rough onto Galarian Weezing when the damage was resisted. Betsy chose to bank a boatload of energy and send out Registeel. Registeel has a pretty favourable matchup here. We have to be mindful of the OV and the misaligned switch clock. Speaking of misaligned switch clock, the opponent looks to snipe Reggie with the Flamethrower, but this stupid tin can is so thick we withstand the damage. Return fire with the Flash Cannon. Flash Cannon gets the opposing Muffin into the red. It looks like Reggie's on a sliver of HP, but the opponent cannot Fairy Wind farm down. This annoying tin can makes a charge move, and Betsy has now took switch advantage. Respect to the opponent attempting that really aggressive Fairy Wind farm down. They didn't get it with Slurpuff, however they did manage to Fairy Wind farm down with Weezing, but we can now send out the big turtle, this crazy looking Pokemon that looks like it's looking the wrong way. It doesn't even look interested in battle, but let me tell you, it is very good. The opponent landed the play rough, then sent the overheat. They've got Sandslash in the back. We fire off the first Flamethrower. The opponent lets it go, and that is going to be game over. Turtonator sweeps the back line, and we're off to a 1-0 start. In the next battle, we lead the Muffin into Giratina. Typing advantage is with us, but Fairy Wind doesn't do a lot of quick move damage, and the opponent has the ability to hit us for huge damage with a Shadow Ball. The opponent full send the Shadow Ball. The Muffin withstands the damage, returns fire with the play rough. The opponent lets it go. They're now so low. They don't want to get farmed down. They send out Tapu Fini. We bank the charge move and send out the big tin can. If you did play this cup, Registeel's recommended moveset was Flash Cannon and Focus Blast. However, Betsy opted for Zap Cannon and Flash Cannon because fairies were absolutely everywhere. We land the Zap Cannon, that gets Tapu Fini deep into the red. The tin can is now going to be able to get the full lock on farm down, or if you play with music or sounds on, it would be the beep 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 farm down, and that is one of the main reasons I play with sound off, as Registeel absolutely annoys the shit out of me. The opponent actually running a double fairy backline. Registeel fires off the Flash Cannon. The opponent catches it on Giratina, a very nice catch from the opponent, but Registeel able to make Flash Cannon number 2, forcing a Protect Shield. We then go for the wham bam combo play, looking to serve up that Big Mac and the fries. The opponent commits both Protect Shields. We show him the turtle, and the opponent really needs to top left Incinerate, tearing apart A9. We shield up the neutral Weather Ball, not that we need to. We make the Flamethrower, and it's going to be high A9 by A9. Get absolutely wrecked. GG's, and thanks for playing. We are only 2 battles in, and you can already see why she called Turtonator the cheat code, as my god, people are not ready for it. In the next battle, we see the Muffin into Sonic the Hedgehog. Slurpuff was just such a good pick in this meta, able to hit a majority for super effective damage. The opponent attempt to catch the Flamethrower onto Tapu Fini. Betsy shows great discipline, holding her energy. We fire off the play rough, force some chip damage. Again, she banks the charge move. That is a very nice play, as when Slurpuff and Sandslash meet again, Slurpuff does have the higher attack and will be winning CMP. Betsy now answers this Tapu Fini save switch with her Registeel. We easily shrug off 2 serves Betsy, At the Zap Cannon, we go for a very cheeky undercharge. The undercharge is a beauty. Reggie gets the beep beep farm down. If the opponent returns with their Alolan Sandslash, they could be fearful of the Focus Blast. Betsy doesn't even build up to it. If the opponent's counting, they'll know this is only a Flash Cannon. However, the opponent shits their pants regardless. Invest in a Protect Shield, then over farm. Reggie has done its job, so Betsy allows it to go down. Betsy has the move banked on the Muffin, but chooses to send out Turtonator. We sneak the Incinerate. The opponent fires off the Ice Punch. They need to pivot. However, their final Pokemon is Giratina, and we're full sending the Dragon Pulse. Does the opponent respect the damage? They do not. Dragon Pulse lands for huge damage. We've still got one Protect Shield to hide behind. Betsy doesn't even respect the Shadow Ball, and the Turtle shrugs that off really well. It's so thick. We then go for another combo play, sending out Slurpuff. We land the play rough. The opponent saving their final shield for Alolan Sandslash. However, they attempted to Shadow Claw, farm us down. We reach the Flamethrower, forcing the final Protect Shield. Turtonator now at the energy for a Flamethrower. We shield up the Ice Punch. Betsy's just got to hit the Flamethrower, which she does, and Turtonator again cleans up. GG's, and thanks for playing. This battle was actually against one of Betsy's friends, Vegeta, someone we featured recently on the channel with a triple frog theme team. Shout out to you, Vegeta. In the next battle, we'll lead Slurpuff into Escavalier. The opponent didn't like that matchup as we got access to double super effective Flamethrower. Betsy choosing to stay in here as we've got another very hard answer for that Escavalier in the form of Turtonator. The opponent on double Iron Bash. Betsy tanked the first one, caught the second one on the Turtle. The opponent now at a Superpower, but Turtonator doesn't care. Superpower doesn't do too much damage. We get the full Incinerate farm down. The opponent send back out Escav. No, this has got to be Zarnik's triple steel theme team. And my god, Turtonator gonna be feasting. The opponent shielded up the Flamethrower. We're now in the red, but Turtonator gonna be able to shield once. Incinerate farm all the way down. My god, look at the damage. The opponent's final Pokemon is Alolan Sandslash. Flamethrower will be forcing the final shield. We then pivot back out into the Muffin. We reach the Flamethrower. This is double super effective. I don't think it quite one-shots, but this is as good as there. And the opponent gonna concede the match. And Reggie gets a nice rest on the bench. People just not prepared for Turtonator. And I didn't actually see one person when battling, so I suppose you didn't really need to prepare for it. However, if you had it, it was pretty much 3 wins. In the next battle, we'll lead Slurpuff into Haxorus. The opponent fires off the Breaking Swipe, then pivot out into Galarian Weezing. Betsy opting to throw this debuff Flamethrower. I'm not really sure on this play, to be honest. I think if I was battling personally, I would have banked as much energy as possible and sent out Reggie Steel. The opponent go for the Sludge onto a Steel type, and I think Reggie actually gained HP. The opponent this time full send the Overheat, but Reggie withstands the damage, returns fire with the Flash Cannon. Flash Cannon secures the knockout. To be honest, I think Flash Cannon doesn't one-shot from full health, so that Flamethrower was probably calculated. So I take back my comments. Betsy's probably smarter than me. They now send back out Haxorus. Reggie makes the Flash Cannon. Flash Cannon goes unshielded. The opponent just about gets the counter farm down. A lot of Haxorus did run Earthquake, so Betsy needs to be mindful the opponent could YOLO the nuke because they're only going to reach one charge where the opponent does full send the nuke. That final Pokemon is Alolan Sandslash, and my god, this Sandslash is in trouble. The first Flamethrower draws the first Protect Shield. The Muffin, so spammy, makes Flamethrower number 2. The opponent double shields, and now it's Turtle time. The Incinerate's double super effective. The opponent throws it really poor timing, probably shitting their pants, thinking, what the heck is this damage output? The opponent throws the Drill Run. We don't respect it. We throw the Flamethrower, and we take that game. Turtonator absolutely popping off once again in the endgame. In the next battle, we see the Muffin into Giratina. The opponent is staying in and going to look to fire off a potential Shadow Ball. Betsy doesn't respect it. The opponent full sends. Betsy needs to be mindful of the opponent making a catch. They continue to stay in. So we throw the Play Rough. Play Rough draws the first Protect Shield. They look to go for the Shadow Claw farm down. No, they throw on CMP. Betsy going to respect the move. Looking to force switch or both Protect Shields. This Play Rough with all the Fairy Winds would knock out. So the opponent actually does go for the double shield, and they actually get a very nice Shadow Claw farm down. Betsy now sends out Reggie Steel. Reggie Steel going to be able to absorb all this damage. Shadow Ball really hard hitting, but it doesn't even tickle this big tin can. We make the Flash Cannon. Flash Cannon doesn't quite knock out, but we do get the beep beep lock on farm down. The opponent now send out Escav. Here comes Turtle. The opponent double weak to fire in the back. Turtonator about to pop off For about the millionth time in the video, Flamethrower vanquishes them back to their Pokeball. The opponent is playing this matchup out. However, the heart attack win con didn't happen. Betsy is alive and well, and the opponent concedes the match. Turtonator living up to his nickname as the cheat code. In the next battle, we see the Muffin Slurpuff into Sonic the Hedgehog, aka Alolan Sandslash. The opponent attempt to catch the Flamethrower onto G-Weezing. However, Betsy going to be looking to chip this thing with the Flamethrower. Betsy again banks the charge move, looks to catch the Play Rough onto Registeel. The opponent shows great discipline, holding their energy. This Weezing actually on Brutal Swing. I haven't really seen Brutal Swing, and I don't think it is the players. Brutal Swing didn't do anything to Reggie, and it really doesn't do a lot to the Giratina sisters either. The opponent then sent the overheat. Reggie withstood the damage, fired off the flash cannon, securing the knockout. The opponent sent back out Alolan Sandslash. They do look to throw energy before we reach a potential focus blast. Not that we've got it, but the opponent didn't know that. We now send out the turtle. The opponent pivot out into Clefable, and again Turtonator absolutely popping off. We fire off the Flamethrower. Flamethrower forces the first Protect Shield. Not only was Turtonator fantastic, because a lot of people run Pokemon like Escavalier and Sandslash, which is double weak to fire, due to the fire dragon type in this one dragon that only takes neutral from fairy moves as well. Most dragons will be putting up shields left, right and centre when faced with Clefable, but you can see there we actually withstood the Play Rough really well. The opponent then baited us with the Meteor Mash. The opponent again fires off a Meteor Mash. We call the bait. We then pivot out into Slurpuff. Slurpuff fires off the Flamethrower. Sandslash near gets one shot. Betsy still with one Protect Shield, too high behind. Doesn't shield up the Drill Run. We Fairy Wind farm down. Back out comes Clefable, and again the opponent reaches for that top left, and we take that game. In the next battle, we see the battle of the fairy types. A pretty neutral matchup. However, the one-turn water guns do really add up. You can see Slurpuff is getting chunked. The opponent at a Moonblast. Betsy calls the surf bait, and the opponent masturbates us. Mr. Opponent, we do not shield baits in this household. Betsy returns fire with the Play Rough. Play Rough goes unshielded. The opponent throws a really nice timing just before we receive the energy for the next Play Rough. Betsy invests the Protect Shield, returns fire with another Play Rough. Play Rough forces the final Protect Shield. The opponent then get the full water gun farm down. Just as we receive the energy for the next Play Rough, which is pretty brutal, we send out Reggie. The opponent send out Giratina, and to be honest, this is where we want to see it. Betsy fires off the Flash Cannon. Flash Cannon lands for decent neutral damage. The opponent very unlikely to bait a giant tin can, because even the Shadow Ball doesn't do much. Reggie was actually still in the green after tanking the Shadow Ball. This tin can is so thick. We fire off the next Flash Cannon. Flash Cannon gets Giratina into the red. Our tin can will be able to withstand one more Shadow Ball. We then pivot out into the turtle. We snipe with the incinerate. Turtonator has a running start. Tapu Fini is still alive. The opponent send out Tapu Fini. They throw on alignment. Trainer, no. The opponent full sends the Moonblast. Turtonator shrugs it off, returns fire with the Flamethrower. Flamethrower goes unshielded. The opponent's final Pokemon is Alolan Sandslash. Betsy looking to go for the fast move beatdown. No, she overfarms, fires off the Flamethrower. Flamethrower will be forcing the final Protect Shield. The opponent does manage to Shadow Claw, farm us down. Registeel now has to close this battle out. The opponent full sends the Drill Run. They're at the back-to-back, and unfortunately we are going to take a loss. GG's to that opponent. Sandslash getting some redemption for all its brothers that got absolutely beat the shit out of by the turtle in this video so far. In the next battle we see yet another Sonic. The opponent going to chip us with the Drill Run and most likely attempt to catch. Betsy anticipates the catch, throwing the Play Rough. The opponent did stay in and still respect the Flamethrower. A very cheeky play from Betsy. If you've got good understanding of game mechanics, what you can do, instead of blind throwing the wrong move, you can actually pause a turn, wait for the Shadow Claw animation to start, and then hit your Flamethrower. However, a lot of people never understand what I mean when I say that, so you can just blind throw the wrong move. Either way, you're likely to draw a shield. Betsy forced both Protect Shields with her Muffin, now sends out Turtonator looking for a very aggressive Incinerate farm down. Betsy doesn't shield up the super effective Drill Run. We shrug off the damage. The opponent send out Giratina. We full send the Dragon Pulse, then send out Registeel. Betsy, of course, doesn't need to respect this Shadow Ball, as Registeel has 10 bazillion HP and is incredibly thick. Betsy then goes for a very nice overfarm before firing off the Flash Cannon. Flash Cannon secures the knockout. The opponent did keep their Sandslash alive and is likely to return. The opponent sends back out Sandslash. Can we reach the Flash Cannon? No, we just about get outpaced. Betsy invests her final Protect Shield. The opponent full send the Drill Run, then pivot out into Haxorus. The opponent in a tough spot. We're also in a tough spot. If they've got Surf or Night Slash, we could be in trouble. The opponent doesn't throw the Tin Can, makes one more Flash Cannon. This Flash Cannon will be lethal. We then pivot out into Turtonator, and one Incinerate is going to be all she wrote. Very nicely done. Moving on to the next battle. We see Slurpuff into Haxorus. You love to see it. The opponent is staying in. It takes them 10 counters to reach an Earthquake. With that in mind, Betsy fires off the Play Rough before they reach a potential Earthquake. You don't want to try and CMP tie Haxorus, as you definitely will not beat Haxorus, as it has a very high attack stat. The opponent full sends the Earthquake, rocking our Muffin down into the red, but we withstand the damage, make Play Rough number 2 and force both Protect Shields. Betsy now sends out the Tin Can. The counters are super effective, but it doesn't really look like it. The opponent full sends another Earthquake, a nice shield from Betsy. We reach the Flash Cannon. Flash Cannon will be secure in the knockout. The opponent now send out their own Tin Can. We've got no Focus Blast, so we pivot out into Turtonator. Turtonator looking to close. Does the opponent have Focus Blast themselves? We call that they don't. They fire off the Zap Cannon. We see no debuff. They then send out Clefable. Turtonator smelling blood. The Moonblast will probably be the hardest hitting move left in the game, and we see Betsy respect it. The opponent fire off the Moonblast. We commit that shield. Betsy now over farms, fires off the Flamethrower. Flamethrower will be lethal, just the Tin Can remain. Back out comes Reggie. Turtonator already at the next Flamethrower. This Flamethrower going to land for heavy super effective damage. The opponent now deep in the red, and the opponent going to concede the match, and Turtonator sweeps another backline. And you will see that that was the battle that took Betsy over the edge, getting her to over 3,000 elo. Congrats Betsy on a fantastic legend run, using a pretty spicy pick I didn't see in the form of Turtonator, all the way at level 50. It was great to see the turtle in action, because my god did that thing go on a fucking rampage. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you like your battles featured on my channel, link to my battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thank you to everyone for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.